All right, let's take a look at Youbooks, which released recently on AppSumo. And this caught my attention, even though it's not really doing that great on reviews. It caught my attention because you guys know how popular Chris Derenberger's AI writer was. So we had another ebook writer AI, right? I've done a lot of videos on this software. It's actually a pretty brilliant software and it's made people money. This caught my attention that, okay, this is another company that's been around and I have checked it. It looks like they have been around. This software has been around since November of 2024. So it's been around for almost a year. Who knows if they, I think that's was that around the time that Chris's tool came out? Not sure, but they might have gotten started before him. So it's not really like a copy. It's definitely different the way that it writes writes ebooks and so forth. So just wanted to take a look at this. It's a small company. It's a startup. It's bootstrapped. I do like to look at the website over here. It's getting about 30,000 visitors per month. So it has been around almost a year. Has gotten 30,000 visitors per month. So it does have a traffic source, which is always a good sign. And just so you guys know, I used my software to run this through my Deal Trust Scorer in LTD Compass. There will be a link below if you want to check it out. But essentially, my software is scoring it a 7.1 out of 10. It's giving it a good deal right there. You can pause the video and read this summary right over here as well. It's going to wrap everything up. You can see that it scores lower and it makes sense on reviews and feedback. It doesn't have enough reviews volume with only a few reviews. It's not going to get very many points right here on review volume. You really need to get at least 10 reviews for it to go up to the next points. My software star rating is low as well. So it kind of explains this. We do have a couple good reviews. We have some bad reviews as well. There is a roadmap. Now they do have a roadmap. You can scroll to the bottom of their page and go and check out their roadmap, what they've delivered so far. It's a nice little roadmap there. It does look like they have, it's professional. They care about the software. When we come back over here onto the homepage, there is no LinkedIn profile. We don't know a whole lot about the founder or anything like that. So I think that's kind of important, but some deals are launched without a LinkedIn profile. I think people do like to see that. This is going to write ebooks for us that you could either give away as lead magnets, or you could sell as a service on Fiverr, or you could sell as your own service and website and be, a nonfiction author. It now exclusively writes nonfiction books. It does not claim that it writes fiction books at all. So you need to know that these are nonfiction books. The business model is that you could create these books and sell them on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, or KDP. Now here's the pricing. We got license tier 1, $49, 200,000 credits per month, and one credit is one word. So you'll be able to write 200,000 words per month. They do have a minimum of 10,000 word books. So if you did that, you would be able to write 20 10,000 word books. Or if you did 30,000 word books, you'd be able to do about 6 or 7 books per month. You can calculate it that way. They have human models where you can actually go and kind of train it, give it more style, and create your own human style. You need to be on license tier 2, starting at $119 in order to get the human models. On license tier 2 at $119, you get the 500,000 credits per month. License tier 3, $249 at 600,000 credits per month. This credit discount, you're going to get credit packs. So that's where that big thing's coming in right there. I don't think that getting the extra 100,000 right here, I've never seen this kind of jump in pricing. You're looking at like $110 more from license tier 2 to license tier 3, and you only get 100,000 more, which is just crazy. That part is confusing to me, but I think it has to do with the fact that if you're going to run this as an agency and you're going to be writing a ton of books, which I believe Amazon KDP actually limits you to 3 books per day. I don't recommend doing that because you're going to get your account banned. You don't want to do more than 1 book per day. You want it to be quality. You want to send it to an editor. I promise. I'm part of Chris Derenberger's Facebook group. Every day someone comes on and bashes the software, gets all mad that they got their Amazon KDP account banned. All you're doing is churning out AI content. And let's be real, you're flooding the internet with AI trash content. If you're not willing to read your book, make sure it's actually good. You need to use AI tools to help you with efficiency, but you still need to send it off, get it edited, or do it yourself. Make sure that it's a quality book, and you just can't spam the internet. Amazon will block you. I have some inside information into this niche about creating AI books. Don't get your account banned. There's plenty of people that are making hundreds of dollars a month that bought Chris's software. It does work if you do it the right way. I just don't see the need for license tier 3 and tier 4. Based on the information I just gave you, you get a massive discount because they allow you to buy credit packs. But I really think that you're going to be fine. I think the sweet spot is license tier 2. You're not going to run out of credits right here. You can bring your own key. I did not see in the software where to do that, but let's jump in and take a look at the actual software. It's a really simple user interface. This is where your books will be, your content sources. This is where you'll go add your content sources. You can read all about it right there. You can always see how many credits you have. We have 200,000 credits per month right over there. They do have a translate. You can translate your book right over here. The human models, again, you need to be on license tier 2 in order to do that. You can create your own style, even on license tier 1. They do have a light mode right over here if you prefer that as well. We're going to stick with dark mode. It looks really nice, easy on the eyes. Let's go create our first book. You can do free generations. Free books are limited to 10K words, and they use simplified generation process. It's going to create your book fast, but there's no advanced workflows, no internet search. They cannot be sold. So it's just going to basically be using, large language model and the information that it already has in its library. It's not going to be able to do current event or find out more information. These kind of, in my opinion, are more for if you wanted to create a simple lead magnet or something like that. You needed something really quick. Maybe you would use this, but honestly, the power seems to lie in the premium quality book right here. So you're going to go over here. It's going to default you to, I think, 10,000 words. I've got a prompt over here that I've already created. I'm just going to go like this right over here. And I'm just going to go ahead and let's just go like this. I'm just going to see what it can do by just giving it this box right here. Write a 10,000 word practical guide on losing 10 to 30 pounds in 1 month through walking and low carb eating. The book should be direct, actionable, and results focused. Prompt quality. So it's telling us we've got a really good prompt right here. So if we took out this section right over here and I just did a Control X, let's see if it's going to analyze that. Reanalyze. The prompt quality is in yellow. So write a 10,000 word practical guide on losing 10 to 30 pounds. You could keep it right there, surface level, and the AI is going to go and do whatever it wants. And then on losing 10, we could dumb this down even more and you're probably going to get a bad one right there. But we're going to go ahead and reanalyze, and we've got a nice prompt right there. Paste that back in, reanalyze. Should be a good prompt. Yes, we've got a really good prompt. It says, great work. Your readers will love this focused approach. Now we can come in here, we can do all kinds of things. We can go into no style prompt, and you have no styles. Please create a style first. So add a new style prompt right over here. Add new style prompt. We can come over here and we can just say that this is fitness, our fitness writer right here. And then I'm going to come over here into Claude on my other screen and create this kind of prompt, and I'll be right back. Perfect. So we've got this. I don't know if it's going to write like you're testing. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to grab this whole thing right here, and we will see what it comes up with if we're allowed to add this much. No. Okay, so we do have a character count right here. I'm going to copy this. We're going to go to word counter. We're going to paste that in. And so you get 100 words. So I'm going to go back over to Claude on my second screen. I'm instructing it to give it only a 90 words and a prompt for us right here. We can copy that, go back in, and I can remove that, paste that in, and it looks really good. So we've got this really direct and conversational, like texting a friend who's already succeeded, short, punchy sentences, active voice. I use Claude to do this. Claude is a really good, known as probably the best large language model AI writing type of tool. And so that's where I'm doing all this. We're going to call that fitness and say create. You've added your style prompt right there. We've got it. Hopefully when we click on a new book, we didn't lose everything. I love that when we come back, we still have our prompt in there. We still have all that. We can come over here. Fitness is now the writing style, book structure, preference. We have a comprehensive, few chapters, deep dive, balanced, or concise, more chapters, shallow analysis. I'd like to dial this down one more to book structure, comprehensive. Now we have 10,000 words. I want to go with 10,000 words and keep it that way. Now we can add sources if you have sources. This is optional. But this is what makes this software unique. We can completely control the sources that we want to use. So if you have a couple of websites or URLs, you want to go copy those, or you have some eBooks, or you want to drag and drop, you have your own set of information. You can make sure that search in the internet is completely ticked off, and it will only use that and its own large language model library to create your book. It won't go out and search the internet. Right now, we're going to click on that. You have some tool tips right over here as well. Expensive models, 4 times the price right here. You know what? Let's go ahead and click on that. I want it to be the best. The ultimate plan is required to bring your own key. So you cannot bring your own key. That's why they didn't have that here. This is just license tier 4. I don't know if you can bring your own key in any of the lifetime deals. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look that way because they don't say anything about bring your own key down here in this whole deal section. I believe you have to be on one of their paid plans in order to do that, which kind of defeats the purpose in my opinion, and it makes no sense. We can go over here and see if we can hover over this. To use your own API key for AI models, you must sign up for the ultimate plan. This feature offers significant discounts on book generation costs. So this is just, if you're running an agency and a business, that you may need to use that. But I mean, I'm even willing to bet that if you got the license tier 4 plan and 700,000 credits per month, that's a lot of books. Even if you wrote 100,000 words in one book, which is a pretty nice sized book, you would still be able to write 7 of those books in 1 month. I mean, you really have to be doing this for an agency and people paying you in order to really be on their plan, which in that case, you probably would be on one of their paid monthly plans. It does give you a full book overview, or it gives you a full kind of, this is saying 45,000 credits. It's saying it's going to be super good. I'm willing to waste these credits on the expensive model because I want to see what it can do for us right out of the gate. Selecting the best. We can click on this, expect 10 to 20% improvement in quality, but it's going to cost 4 times as much just for 10 to 20% improvement. I don't really know if I like that, but we're going to go with this, and it can take hours. Let's go with review choices. How do we get this book written? Review choices. It's reviewing for us right now. We have our fitness right there. We have everything. It's going through, it's reading everything, kind of doing all this on its own, which is interesting. Your book will be written in English based on your prompt. Generate your book 45. So it does give you plenty of like notice and warnings that, are you sure you want to write this book and spend this many credits? Yes. Let's click it. Generate book starting in 3, 2, 1. And now it's going to get things ready. It's going to go write our book. Hopefully at the 10,000 word book level, this will only take 20 minutes or something, but they did give a fair warning, and I'm actually going to give them credit. I can still give them points taken off because with ebook writer AI, now this isn't meant to be a comparison or versus or anything like that, but you know that you can get a book written in 5 minutes. That's pretty dang good. But based on users' experience, you can't just take the book that it writes and go and publish it. You're really putting yourself at risk. I don't recommend doing that. So I'm really curious to see if this quality is going to be really good. Maybe we can even go put it through originality. We do have our title right here. It is making the title. So walk your way thin, shed 10 to 30 pounds in 30 days. Now, it's really about walking, and I wanted it also to be about low carb. It doesn't really mention that, but that's cool. So here we are. Happy October. I didn't realize it's October 1st today. Happy October. We're in a new month. Some information about the book. It is a work in progress. I'm going to have to stop the video and come back in a little while. All right, just a quick update. We are at 4 minutes and 35 seconds. I have a timer on my other screen. So we're at just under 5 minutes, and you can see that it's generating ideas for chapter 2, section 1. This will probably take about 20 minutes. I'll keep you updated along the way. Just showing you this right here. You do get an email when you're starting to write a book. We've received your order, working on the title and the project, and then we will send you another email when your book is ready. So that's kind of nice. We'll be right back. I'm just looking at the screen right here, kind of sitting here, and it does update in real time. Like while you're sitting here without pushing the refresh button, you'll see generating ideas for chapter 3, section 1. It just moved from chapter 2. It actually does update right there in real time, which is kind of nice. Okay, so it is the next day. You can see up here, it's October 2nd. And that's because this took forever, guys. This actually took about 5 hours to create this 10,000 word ebook. Just so you guys know, you'll have to be okay with that if you pick up this software. They are upfront with you on the sales page, everything about how long it does take. It goes through a lot of checks and processes. Even with all those checks and processes, it's surprising to me that it does take 5 hours. I probably would be okay with like an hour, it taking an hour to do this, but 5 hours is quite a bit. This would be something that you would just take a day to get your work done, right? You're going to plan and submit your books for writing and then come back the next day to have them. As long as you adjust your workflow, it shouldn't be an issue. We always want things instantly. We're competing against tools that can create ebooks in 5 to 10 minutes. I would be okay with that if the books are exceptionally better than what you could get with other tools. So that's something you have to decide for yourself. We went over to My Books, and you can see that it's finally in the finished category right over here. We can click the drop down. We can kind of see what we have here. It's got the project ID and so forth. You'll have your downloads over here, your docx, EPUB, MD, and RTF files. I'll click the dock button, downloaded it, and this is what you're going to get right here. And you can see when we scroll down, it's 12,422 words. You have the table of contents and everything right here. So I would say this is a good 1,100 words or so. Book starts right over here. And you can just start reading it. It is structured well. You have section 1. Everything flows pretty well. You have nutrition framework and meal planning, calorie deficit, protein and hydration, sample 7-day meal plans and grocery list, pre and post walk, fueling and snack ideas. Then section 2, habits, sleep, stress, and tracking. And then, just chapter by chapter, you've got your implementation, troubleshooting, maintenance. Section 1, they do have Roman numerals right here. I would like to see them just say chapter 1, chapter 2. I didn't see a way to adjust that, but that's what I would prefer. Then you have your 30-day execution and so forth. Then we just jump right into the book. It looks like we created one right over here. So chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Well, right over here, chapter 5, the path forward, we're not seeing the breakdown right here. It's just chapter 5, path forward, and then boom. You're definitely going to look at this. Don't just take this and then go and publish it to Amazon KDP. It's going to get red flagged immediately. I mean, look at this. I don't know why they put this in here, by Youbooks.com, AI generated. I don't know if they're doing that to save their butts, and then it's your choice to push delete and remove that right there, but you're definitely not going to want that in your book at all. Even if you're just giving this away as a free lead magnet or whatever you're doing with the book, you don't want that in there. So you definitely need to read through this. I don't know if I like the watermark, but it might be because it does protect them legally, that they are putting that it is AI generated, and it's your choice that you're removing that. Now we can look, these are pretty big paragraphs right here. Reclaim your vitality with a straightforward approach to well-being, leveraging 2 simple tools, your feet and your plate. This program introduces a potent path for adults aiming to shed body fat by combining consistent daily walking with a low-carb daily eating pattern. Walking is a low-impact exercise, easy on the joints. It reads well, it flows well. I just don't think that it has a whole lot of personality in the writing. Now you can see where it kind of breaks down. So I'm not sure about this part right here. We have the core concepts, then right here, and then safety disclaimer, but then you have the safety considerations. Like, you're going to need to clean this up, right? You don't want to publish this book where you have stuff like this, like 5, 6 lines, a duplicated content too. Like, look, safety disclaimer precautions. But then you're also putting core concept and then core concept and then core concept right here. It's too much, right? You probably don't need all that. You just need to get right into the book. So I think it needs to do a better job at labeling where it's at. I mean, we are on chapter 1, safety, target, audience, and expected results. It's just a little bit of redundancy right there. And then right over here, a bunch of redundancy. So you're going to need to edit the book and clean it up. Even after waiting 5 hours, I don't think that this book is ready to be sent off, published anywhere. So you're going to need to read through it. It's probably recommended to add your own flair to it. I can see how this did go out and get specific medical considerations to include diabetes, heart disease, thyroid disorders. It does seem like it did a really good job on the research. It's broken down really well, but you are going to want to edit this right over here. You don't want to publish this like this. This is a big, giant story. It says a standout example is Sarah, who shed an incredible 66 pounds. Her journey wasn't without its challenges. 10,000 steps daily. Studies support the idea that regular walking significantly aids. So it does read like a nonfiction book, like someone factual. I do like that they added in some stories here. Now, we don't know if this story is true, that it gathered from somewhere across the internet, or if the AI made this story up. We don't really know those things, right? But I would definitely read through the book and read to make sure that everything that it's saying happened to this person fits within the realm of something possible. If it says they lost 500 pounds in 30 days, it's wrong. You need to read it, make sure it's something possible. And then you just scroll through right here. I don't really know why they have it structured like this. I did want to look and see what the sample meal plan looked like real quick, and then we'll conclude this. It's in section 2. I'm not seeing the sample plan. It should be under section 2 right here. I'm actually not seeing the sample meal plan. It's just kind of hard to follow. This looks like it might have some information about the meals. I'm not seeing where the actual meal plan is. I might be missing it, but I'm not seeing an actual meal plan, but then it says that it had one. I said, no, we're way down here. Practical low-carb food list. It has a bunch of information there. You're definitely, you don't want to publish it with this giant paragraph right there. This needs reworked, split up, and so forth. I don't really like the structure of it, personally. It's just a massive data dump. It is structured, but you are going to need to get this fully edited. You're going to need to spend a couple hours in here really making sure that you go through this. Look at these giant paragraphs. You're going to need to deal with that. I did do some originality, came over here, tested it. It did come back with 100% confidence that it is AI. You just need to know if Amazon has any kind of checker like this, it's going to flag it. I don't know what kind of checker they have, but it's definitely just coming out as 100% AI and so forth. So that's what the ebook looked like. The process and everything is fine. The concept and everything. I think that I'm okay with the pricing, the credits and all that, but I'm a little put off on the 5-hour wait time for a 10,000 word ebook that pretty much any other software could create in 15 minutes or less. If you were doing chapter by chapter and really trying to get the best output and everything, you probably would spend an hour or two on a book like this. Because we don't have a lot of control over the output, we did spend the extra credits for the expensive model. 4 times the price for 10 to 20% better and stuff. I think it's just the time. I still don't like that it took 5 hours, regardless if they're saying that it's because it's doing so much more quality work. Overall, I don't think I'm that impressed with the results when compared to with other similar softwares. I don't think that this is better personally. It also comes back as 100% AI. So I don't really not blown away by the content. I'm just going to leave it at that. But overall, I mean, with the software, this is Youbooks. I don't see anything in here. I really kind of think I agree with the reviews. I'm going to click on reviews, and you just got this 3 tacos, right? Good progress, but still frustrating gaps. I kind of feel like that's where I'm at. You do have some 1-star tacos. You do have some people that are very satisfied with 5 stars. So you got to take the good with the bad. If you're looking for an ebook writer that can write giant books, this might be your tool. Just know that you're going to edit. If I was going to pick this tool up and I was going to be serious, I would have this write the book and just expect that, okay, I'm going to check it the next day. That's when I'll have my book written. When you look at it from that angle, it's not so bad. Like if you went to Fiverr and hired somebody to ghostwrite your ebook for you, you'd have to wait days for it. So even just waiting 5 hours or the next day for your book, it's not anything different than the way things were a few years ago where you had to hire someone. And a lot of times you wouldn't get your book back for weeks. If they were going to write a 1,000 word book or a 30,000 word book, you wouldn't get it back for a couple of weeks. And so when you put it into that context, it's not a big deal. So the way that I would do this is I would have it write the book, and then I would send this off to someone on Upwork or Fiverr. I would hire them to be a book editor, and I would actually spend the money, $50 to $100, to have someone gloss over it, edit it, make it look good before you publish it. And if you're going to do that, then I think that this tool could be a really good lifetime deal tool. I do like that it's been around for about a year. So it's not like it's just started 3 months ago, right? And so, but at the end of the day, I'm going to probably give it about a 3.5 stars. It's not terrible for the right person. They can see the value. It's probably a great tool. I just think that it has a couple things that didn't push me into the 4 taco range. So I'm going to stick with about a 3.5 star rating. And remember what my software gave it an average deal at a 7.1 out of 10. That will conclude the review. If you want to pick this up, I'll leave a link below. Thank you so much for checking out this software. We do have a lot of people coming into LTD Compass. If you want a good place to manage all these softwares that you're purchasing, where we can track and make sure that the site is still up, we can track how much money you're spending. You can get full statistics on how much money you're spending on lifetime deals year over year. There's a lot of good stuff inside of LTD Compass. I'll leave that as the second link below. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.